Hi everyone, this is Menz here, playing the Tier 10 German tank destroyer, the Waffentrager E-100. Now, this tank, not a lot of armor, especially on the gun, essentially a turret on this thing. But its hull does have alright armor on the upper glacis, and lower glacis is still weak because it's the E-100 hull. But basically, no armor because everyone knows to shoot the gun section. Now, it does have an option of a 150 millimeter or 150 centimeter, and a 12.8 centimeter gun as well. I use the 12.8 because it's more reliable. Most people use that too, just because it's more reliable. I believe it still has a higher DPM than the 150 centimeter, and basically there's not as many downsides. The 150 centimeter is difficult to land all your shots with. This allows you to play a little further back, better accuracy, more shells to be able to shot out of a magazine. You kind of get what I'm going at. Now this tank, it's not particularly mobile, doesn't have a lot of armor, and basically it just has a high burst damage potential. Now, it's not for everybody. It is very difficult to play. I don't necessarily like playing it at all times just because you're really a one-trick pony. You do your damage, you hide, rinse, repeat. I'm just trying to get some range on me here between those guys. Okay, we have that medium here still. I just want to make my way over to the 8-9 line. While we don't have a ton of people in the 1, 2, 3, 4 line, I don't want to just sit there and do nothing. I'd rather help out this T110E5 if I can. Fortunately, we just lost that leopard, where I don't get why people always, especially in higher tier battles, go up to the top there. Doesn't make that much sense, in my opinion. You get up there and, yeah, you can spot people, but you're basically trapped up there. You're not able to pop out and do anything. There is IS-4 down here, and now a bat chat. However, we are safe from artillery as of right now. Guns damaged, but I'm not too worried about that as of yet. It's that IS-7 now. Ooh, thank you, T-92. Just waiting a little bit. I don't want to take too much damage here. It's that other FB, which I don't think he even there. He saw me now. He's gonna not be alive for too much longer. Okay, so I'm gonna start reloading now, and I might as well repair my gun, just because one shell wouldn't have really helped me in that situation. We are starting to lose the other side, so I'm going to turn around. I have 40 seconds. They're against an IS-7, IS-4, a Waffentrager there, but those three are doing a pretty good job. The rest of our team is not. So I just want to make sure we do not lose our base and all of our SPGs. We've already lost one, so just want to keep this from falling completely apart. We just lost our Panzer E-100 as well. This tank's really about doing a lot during your reload time and repositioning yourself. If you don't do anything and move positions in between your magazines, you're really hampering yourself. You need to move around, change where the enemy thinks you're going to be, and get shit done. Okay, there's the Panzer over here. Should be able to get him down pretty easily. Now, if I wasn't there, T-92 would have been done for automatically. Leopard 1 is still back there. Don't know where the other enemy... Okay, the Panzer E-100 is still there. So I'm going to head that way. But this tank, it is going to be replaced by something that's more in line with the Tier 8 Borsig and Tier 9 Waffentrager Panzer IV tanks in the future, because this tank is completely made up and it's hilariously overpowered, despite what some people might say. Even though it's been nerfed once or twice, I think now, it's hilariously broken, and as long as you don't get yourself into terrible spots, you're able to just annihilate things. Which I'm probably going to get hit by Artie here, but I really don't care. Let's just pump a few shells into this guy. And then hopefully run away. Should have one more shot on it. Let's just start backing up here. Now, you don't have a lot of gun depression, but it doesn't matter. You have freaking a shit ton of damage to work with. So you can work with the lack of armor, lack of mobility, and a lack of gun depression in this thing with a 5-round, 490 damage laser gun. Alright, so he's going to be trying to come up here to get me. I'm going to start going this way. He's not going to kill me in one shot unless he ammo racks me. But regardless, I was just heading this way, so it would take him a little bit longer to be able to hit me. So, not the best match that you can have in this thing, because you can churn out tons of damage in this, but still not a bad match. Let's see, I still did the most amount of damage in the match, 3,936, which to me, this is very low for a Waffentrager E-100. You can do easily 5,000 to 6,000 a game if you just stay alive long enough and hit all 9 of my shots and made a pretty decent profit. Now, that's the 12 centimeter gun here. As you see, 5 shells in a magazine, really quick reload time between those shells, excellent penetration, APCR penetration's fantastic, and your damage, I thought it was 490. I was just going off of, I was playing the Borsig before this, but I forgot that it's actually higher for the tier 10 versions of tank destroyers, and that gives you 560 average damage, which fantastic. You're going to be doing a crap ton of damage in this tank, because even though you have 5 shells in a magazine compared to the 4 of the 150, which does more average damage, you're able to hit basically every shot, because 0.29 dispersion at 100 meters, 1.5 second aiming time. You don't even need a gun laying drive on this, and I usually use that on tank destroyers. And the 150 centimeter, I don't exactly like it. It has worse accuracy. Accuracy still good for a 15 centimeter though, and aiming time's alright. However, you kind of have to use the heat shells, which are a little wonky for hitting spaced armor at times, and you have a slightly longer reload between firing each shell, but at the same time you have a lower reload between the magazines, but they're both very, very long. But this tank works with either. The 12.8 centimeter, in my opinion, though, is better. It's more reliable, and you're going to do a lot of damage with it. Now, as far as equipment goes, remember, I have 100% crew with all the crew skills, so that helps out a little bit. But Camo Net will give you a little bit of camo. I use Code Optics and a binocular telescope, because there's no real other equipment. You don't need a gun laying drive on this thing. You could use a toolbox if you don't have repair skills and replace the Code Optics with that. But I use both of them, so when I'm moving, I have a little bit better view range. So that helps out a little bit. And then the telescope to go with the camo net for added view range and camo. So this tank, it is going to be replaced in the future with something a little bit more in line with the previous tank destroyers before. I believe it's going to be a tank destroyer mounted on a Panther hull, if I remember correctly. I might be a little bit wrong there, but I believe it's going to be mounted on the Panther hull instead of a PZ4. It's going to be a little bit bigger, but a lot of firepower with it still. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out my website, wotguru.com.